In the Our Father we pray, may your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Jesus wants us to build a society here that's modeled after the loving, giving heart of the Creator. Human beings have a tendency to build societies without any reference to this loving, giving heart. We want to build societies according to our own ideas of a perfect world. And we call whatever perfect world we create utopia. Utopia comes from the title of a book that Thomas More wrote in England in 1500 called Utopia. At that time, there were lots of social problems. Royalty lived off the people. Lots of poverty, poor health. In his book, he described utopia as an island community where there was no royalty, where everyone worked together, shared the results. 100 years later, another Englishman, John Locke, pushed the idea that if we want to create this perfect world, the right to private property must be enshrined in law. And then each person would be free to pursue their own dream of becoming rich, using whatever they owned. Locke assumed that social institutions like the family, the church, schools, government, would counter this individual drive for wealth by supporting the common good. But over the next 300 years, the influence of the family, the church, schools, and government grew weaker and weaker, while the drive for individual rights grew more and more powerful. The sense of common purpose and public spirit is completely absent from our society today. In its place, a ruthless individualism expressed in a market mentality has invaded our lives. We have the illusion that we control our destiny because individual economic opportunities do exist, especially if you start with middle-class advantages. The reality is that powerful economic forces affecting the lives of all of us make most of the decisions that affect our lives, and they make them on the basis of what's good for business, and we have no control over these economic forces. Most Canadians, most Americans, most Europeans no longer believe they have any meaningful say in how their countries are run. And all of this begins with the belief that we can create a perfect society, forgetting that the people who live here are an imperfect species. This is not a mistake that philosophers and think tanks people make. We all do it. Every time we come up with a plan to fix something, to fix our family, our parish, our school, our club, without taking into consideration that all human beings make mistakes. They forget. They're selfish. They're frail. So that sooner or later we will all want to get rid of some people because they don't fit our perfect home, our perfect community, our perfect school, our perfect club. Jesus tells a story that points out two different approaches to life. We can be wise stewards of the grace God has given us, never forgetting that we are servants. Or we can be selfish administrators, behaving as if we were masters of our existence, using the things God has given us solely for ourselves. If we believe we're solely in charge of our lives, soon we begin to act as if everything revolved around us, and we become tyrants. Bad administrators behave as if they were masters, not servants, and they make absolutes of themselves. We're called to reason not as someone who is the master of their existence, but as one who has received life as a gift, to rejoice in the beauty we've been given and to be collaborators in the ongoing work of creation. When we appreciate goodness and mercy and blessings, when we consider ourselves to be children of creation, we will be shaped by the desire to be faithful to life as a gift and to nurture this sense of giftedness in everyone around us.